Guys, there's a hot topic out this week. Is we got a new reveal from Ubisoft on Monday talking about their latest free-to-play first-person arena shooter, XDefiant. And ladies and gentlemen, for the first time, joining us, special guest Kyle from our website designer has joined us tonight. Oh, you'll see him actually in the stream once in a while too, helping us out. Buddy, thanks for joining us. First of all, I'm gonna let you go last, Kyle. I'm not gonna put you on the spot right away. I'm gonna go right to Nate first. Okay. Overall impressions, Nate, of XDefiant from Ubisoft out of San Francisco.
Well, man, honestly, first impressions, I was not overly hyped for this one, to be completely honest. I don't know. I don't want to be Mr. Pessimistic because I can't speak for it until I play it, because that's a lot of a lot of things. It might not look that good, but then you get your hands on it and it's a completely different experience.
Sure.
But we're also in 2021 now, where there's all sorts of these kind of multiplayer battle arena style games, and to get this sort of, in my opinion, I don't know, half of a game to us, for us to get hyped for something that seems like it's half a game, man, that's my opinion at the start anyways, until we get into the details of what this game actually is. Well, but Scott, what's your first impression? Sorry.
Well, I was a little late to seeing the news, the reveal. I had missed the actual date. So I did see the internet reaction to it, and there was a lot of less than favorable responses. So I'm tempering my opinion with that. I know that's the popular thing that happens with every game release now, is there's a lot of people that line up against it. But there is a lot of cause for concern, this being early access kind of thing first. The game's not quite complete. They're going to be working on it. It's a mashup of several different properties that don't necessarily fit together. So I am quite, not optimistic that it's going to work amazingly well. But from what I saw in the trailer, the gunplay seems to be pretty clean. So as long as the class system can support that well, that's the building block, is of course the gunplay, and that'll make or break it for me.
Yeah, Scott, basically what they're doing here is they're pulling from Tom Clancy's titles. So they're pulling from Splinter Cell. Let's just pause and shake our heads for a second. They're pulling from Ghost Recon Breakpoint. And lastly, they're pulling two factions out of The Division. So we've got 4 factions total. We've got Echelon, which is going to be our support class. We've got 2 out of The Division. The Cleaners, I got notes over here. The Cleaners, which is going to be the Assault. And then we got Outcasts, which will be healers. And then lastly, Ghost Recon, they're pulling in the Wolves as your tank class. Now, if we take quick note, all of these games typically come at a third-person perspective, and they've tossed this entire game into first person, which is just so, for me, instantly off-putting, right? If you want to go first person, then you had a whole list of Rainbow Six characters you got pulled in, but we'll talk about Extraction another time. But it's the overall impressions were, for me, arena shooter, really not my thing. I do like the idea that it is free to play. I think this gives the opportunity for the game to have a longevity within the life cycle of what they're trying to achieve here. What always comes though with free to play is microtransactions, and where do we stand with those? Nobody likes microtransactions, but you got to keep the servers alive and pay your employees and all that kind of stuff. So you're gonna have that, right? And when you take a look at the games they pulled from as well, when you get into Ghost Recon, Splinter Cell, and The Division, it's really, really grounded. Where they're here, they describe it as like a punk rock setting. I was like it just, you're on 2 different degrees here with the game for me, right? Like, I love the games that you're pulling from, but then you put it in this over exaggerated world, bright colors and things like that, right? Which I've seen from other people talking about the fact that it's just easier to sell cosmetics that way, right? Because you're allowed, then you don't have to be so grounded. When you take a look at PUBG, one of my favorite battle royale games, it started off in a very military fashion. Now you go over there, like yeah, the mechanics of the game stays, but the cosmetics are nowhere near what you kind of expect from when the game first started, right? So there's a lot of give and take here, and they've gone just over exaggerated on some of this stuff that just kind of is, for me, off-putting from the franchises that we all know and love. And then if you bounce onto the internet real quick, guys, you take a look over at the Ubisoft YouTube channel, and under the trailer at 400,000 views currently, 11,000 thumbs up and 19,000 thumbs down. Overall general
Never a good
impressions
sign.
are not very well. So I'm curious to see what Ubisoft then takes from this feedback and what they're going to do with all this negative comments, and see what they can do to kind of hopefully, you know, change a few opinions. Last wrap up though is Kyle. Kyle, what do you got, dude? What do you think about this one?
I like the look of it, honestly.
Yep.
It looks all right. It falls in theme with all the Tom Clancy games that have come before it. But like you said, it is a third person. All these perspective, all these previous games, and then to be forced into first person, plus the timing of it, it doesn't seem right now.
Yeah, well, we're getting a beta test here on August 5th, right? There's no overall release date or release window implemented as of yet from Ubisoft. They said they want to have the community come in, give the feedback, and then build this game with the community and grow a community. And I'm all for that, right? Like, I can't deny that. That'd be a great idea. Does it always work? No, it doesn't. You know, so high hopes, fingers crossed, and maybe this will work, and they'll take some of the good feedback and the negative feedback, and we'll see what we can get out of a good, solid foundation of a game. Nate, I want to talk to you real quickly. Free to play, though, buddy. Free to play. What do you think for Ubisoft? Because this is really like a different take for them to take this approach. We're no longer getting a $60, $80 game. They've gone to this free to play. What they want to do is this hybrid of free to play titles, and they've touched on it just not too long ago. Scott and I were on the Daily Show talking about it, how they were bringing over this free to play aspect, but at a AAA level.
Well, what I think it is, man, is we're gonna get a half-baked cake. That's all it's gonna be. We got 4 classes, okay, guys? One class is from a franchise we haven't seen in 10 years.
Yeah.
We have 2 factions from the Division, both of which are evil factions, not even like good factions.
Good
and then we
guys,
have
yeah.
one faction from Ghost Recon, which is also evil.
A bad guy.
So you're gonna have the one franchise that's good that we haven't seen in a decade play with these other franchises that are cool, or like these other factions that are cool. But
Yeah.
man, I don't know. So we're gonna get 8 potential characters, 4 classes, and 10 people playing. So we're gonna get repeats of characters. This is already looking bad in my opinion, man. And that's why they're like, oh, it's free to play. Oh, just spend money on our game. It's like, no, I'll spend money on your game once it's complete. Because we're at a time now where I don't think, like, yeah, for smaller developers, guys that are trying to make a name for themselves, it's a great idea to have these game previews. 110%. That's why it's there.
Yeah.
But for Ubisoft, I mean, these guys have been around forever. They're just thinking dollar signs. That's all they're seeing right now, in my opinion, my humble opinion. But I don't like it, man. I don't like it. I do not. I'll have to say more when we actually maybe try the beta, but it's gonna be a PC beta. I'd rather play on my Xbox, so that's probably not even gonna happen for who knows how long. And I think a big thing too with this game is its launch time quickly. They need to launch this not at a busy time. If they come out in this fall when Battlefield, which is gonna take multiplayer by storm, everybody's gonna be hopping on that game. No one's gonna be caring about almost anything else. So to have this half-baked game come out maybe then, I don't know, maybe wait till February when it's a slow period.
No, absolutely. Scott, any concerns about it going free to play?
With the free to play model, I know that they're going to have to recuperate cost.
Yeah.
And it seems like they've already, by design, created a hunger for more characters, if nothing else. That you're going to want more than the 8 available characters. There could be a couple more thrown in there, but it's still not enough, especially when you compare it to something like Siege, where there's just, they're going to 100. But I'm worried that that's going to be a price point thing, where that'll be the first DLC packs will be character related. And I'm so worried that this is going to have a lot of heavy loot box kind of stuff.
Yeah, for sure. I think I'm right there with you, to be honest. Kyle, where do you stand with free to play and the whole Ubisoft approach on this one?
I enjoy free to play games. It's
Yeah.
just there are large gaming of them out there now,
Yeah.
and which one do you sink your time into, and which one do you invest your money, your hard-earned money, into loot crates, basically, in different forms and aspects and views of the same thing. It's all microtransaction nowadays, and that's their whole plot line, and that underlined in this free to play game. And what game do I want to sink my time into? And right now they're just trying to get into the mix, and I understand that, but I don't think it's the right timing for it right now. And like Nathan said earlier, I think they need to really look at what they're doing and enlarge the faction rate dynamics of the game right now.
Yeah, so they've come out and said that they're working on other classes. They're going to introduce up more factions.
No kidding.
Like, there's going to be a lot more content coming, right? But we already figured that. This is just at, beta launch, not even release launch. This is just beta. Get you guys in, get us in, check out the game, get feedback, what's good, what's bad, and we'll take a better look at it from there. And then they'll start adjusting. But the way you keep it alive for games as a service is with content, right? And now we've also seen Ubisoft switch that they've just announced recently or been leaked. Assassin's Creed Infinity is on its way as well. So, they're moving over to this games of service model, and I think the Division 2 has really done it well, done the service justice, and the fact that it keeps that community thriving over there. And they're trying to pull, right? They're trying to pull a little piece from everybody, and it's definitely interested to see where this is going to lie. But the future is out there, and free to play models and these kind of shooters are littered right now, and they're everywhere. And like you say, Kyle, free to play. Where do you want to spend that hard-earned money, though? You want to be in Fortnite? You want to jump into Call of Duty Warzone? You want to check out this, that, and the other? Who knows? But Ubisoft now is jumping in too. Let us know at InsideTheGame.ca. Are you ready for XDefiant?